TIFU by calling a girl fat. I, 35M, didn't actually use that word, but we all know it doesn't matter. I ended a 5-year relationship in January of this year. I started using dating apps in May and by July started seeing someone pretty regularly. In our first State of the Union talk, we both agreed to a casual dynamic with open communication. Even though neither of us were interested in seeing other people, and during this talk both admitted to not having used the apps since we first met, I thought things were going well until the last couple of weeks when we hadn't seen or spoken to each other much. We finally got on the phone last night, and apparently a few weeks ago I had dove too deep into my previous relationship during dinner conversation. That didn't sit well with her, and she thought I still had feelings for my ex. I explained that I didn't, which is the truth, and that while I had agreed to the casual dynamic, I was actually genuinely falling for her and just didn't say anything thinking it would betray our agreement or scare her away. Well, her feelings about my perceived attachment to my ex had been marinating too long to come back from, and she wanted to break things off entirely, thinking I wasn't ready for the next step. After explaining my side, I was just being nice and showing concern for the well-being of a person I used to share a life with, but have absolutely no lingering attachment to. She did feel bad for not asking about it sooner, and it seemed like maybe if I just left it there, she might think about it for a few days and want to talk more. I was pretty disappointed, and as the call was winding down and in the spirit of open communication, suggested we say anything we wished we had said earlier. Looking back on it now, I still cannot believe I said this. And there's zero justification for it, but I made a comment about her weight. She had just started going to the gym again, and I said I had been looking forward to the transformation. She doesn't need to lose any weight, and when she brought it up weeks ago, I said she already looked great and that I was already very physically attracted to her. I think that's why I said it. I maybe meant something along the lines of, "Your body is great and I'm attracted to it. And I would only be more attracted to it if..." My God, what an asshole I am. Naturally, she got very upset and ended the call, forcing back sobs. I texted her right after, apologizing profusely and sincerely. I'm horrified with my behavior and have never felt such shame and regret. TL. Dear, I really liked a girl. I talked too much about my ex, and then made an offhand comment about her weight while she was breaking up with me, all but guaranteeing she'll never speak to me again. Worst thing Op could have said. Top 5 answers on the board. Quote, tell her you were excited she was going to lose weight. Quote, Steve Harvey makes that face. Lose weight appears on the board. Steve Harvey makes that other face. Nice of you to remove any doubt she may have had about breaking things off. Nailed it. What exactly did you say? First rule of X. You don't talk about your ex. First rule of relationships with women. Never talk about weight, not even with a knife in your throat. But I think now those will be carved in your brain forever. Are you perhaps friends with the guy who called his friend fat as a joke, and made everyone laugh at her? From a woman's perspective, she will remember that for the rest of her life, and it will always hurt. You don't need the power like that, man. I know when you've been hurt you want to hurt them back. But it's not zero sum. She didn't mean to hurt you. She had legitimate reasoning. You were just a cruel aw. Perfect R, nice guys material. Refers to yourself as nice. Insults someone's weight when they, understandably, break things off with you. This whole post was about the ex with the other thing just added. I think the ex is still too much on your mind even if you aren't aware of it. The worst thing I ever did to anyone happened when I was probably the drunkest I've ever been. I was gone. Blitzed. 30 sheets to the wind, etc. At this party at the apartment of this girl I liked, who didn't like me back. After seeing her with another guy that night and feeling dumb for being there in the first place, I found the rest of a liter bottle of Jameson I had been nursing and finished it in a few swigs. As I was sitting there miserable and really drunk at the kitchen island by myself. Most of the party was out on the balcony smoking cigarettes at this point. A girl I had never met before walked up from the other room and laughing said, "You're really drunk, aren't you?" In a very cheery way. That did not match my foolishly heartbroken mood at the time. I very sharply and sarcastically said, "Ha ha ha, you're really fat, aren't you?" Quote. She was very upset instantly, and left the room right away. I immediately felt like a garbage person for saying that. She was maybe a little curvy, but really not even that big. Not that it was excusable in any way. At the time I was momentarily angry, then regretful. And once I sobered up, I reached out to mutual acquaintances to profusely apologize for my inexcusable behavior. I heard that the girl laughed it off, but I still regret attacking her appearance in such a brutal way. I think when there are roadblocks so early in the relationships, it tells one a lot about the parties involved. YTF, did I read all of this and you didn't even specify the comment you made about her weight? In the spirit of open communication, suggested we say anything we wished we had said earlier. This may be the worst idea I've ever heard. Also, you sound like you get your dating advice from Consumer Reports magazine. You went with the go-to response for every man being rejected for a valid reason. So what did you say exactly about her weight? Wow, you suck. Why can't I find a long-term girlfriend? I think the major point in your story is actually not being over your ex. And that happens to men as much as to women. That person was a big part of your life for a good while. Just the other day I was on a date with a girl that moved out of her 15-year relationship 3 months ago, and she was all in talking about how they're like the relationships union. Friends live close by where I live. When people unmatched on casual dating app connections, there often is either no conversation at all, or a finding of reasons and deliberate destroy whatever is left of the good connection that had been. One person said this negative thing. The other person knee-jerks another negative thing that might not even have been that bad. The other person dose everything in their quiet, often her power to misunderstand that very generously to be upset, and in the end at least one party is very happy to have avoided all these red flags, or whatnot. It's still okay to reflect on what happened and realize that it might not have been ideal behavior. But I can say with certainty that most people that have ever dated and or broken up go through this. Keep ya head up. As a guy who likes full bottoms, I had a girlfriend who used to get dressed and say, "Do these jeans make my ass look fat?" Quote. My answer was a big smile. Yes, they do, in a way that made her aware I liked it that way. When she started going to the gym, and the booty started shrinking, I actually told her, "I'm glad you are getting more healthy. But damn, I miss that ass."
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.